Let me tell you something you already know.
The greatest researchers, the greatest developers, the greatest scientists in our culture are people who are constantly looking to learn more. I really appreciate when parents and coaches send me clips of their sons or their daughters hitting clips from games, when they give me ideas about looking at things from a different perspective. And one element I got from Coach Bob in New York, he shared with me this: the brain and vision. Approximately 70% of all sensory fibers to the brain begin in the eye. This is more than twice the neural input of all other senses combined. The visual system is represented in every major lobe of the brain, as well as the midbrain and brain stem. I bring this up to you because it just validates what I have been saying before, that we really swing the bat with our eyes. This is just so logical. How can anyone even miss this? Hitting is a sensory action. The sensory fibers that lead to the brain, 70% of them begin in the eyes. Now, to tack onto that idea, if we know what our dominant eye is, we can even bump up the percentage from 70% to even 75 to 80%. And that's because we're training our dominant eye. So a better perspective to look at batting practice is really to look at it as vision practice. So our hitters are really swinging the bat with their eyes. Where the eyes aim, so aims the bat. The simplicity of hitting from the perspective of the batter is this: the ball, it's out there, now the ball is right here. It's all about our perspective as coaches and players. We want to try to copy the same perspective that we're going to be experiencing while we're in the game. And that's why training the vision is so important, but from the right perspective. When you have the right perspective, it's easy to manage and get yourself out of binds and get yourself out of hard, difficult predicaments that we find ourselves in the game. It's easier to break out of slumps when we have the right perspective to fix it and correct it. The best way I can describe the hitting system I present to online customers, whether it be the best hitting drill ever, edition 3, or the big package, world's greatest hitting formula, it's this: that I am challenged by changing the perspective of the hitter. And what I go about doing in this video series is literally changing the viewpoint of how the batter is going to look at hitting once they're in the game. The perspective I'm teaching our hitters to have is both mental and physical. It's where the physical and mental merge together, and it's where the bat meets the ball. It's where the rubber meets the road. This perspective genuinely helps the hitter organize himself or herself in the game. It helps to eliminate the hitter's angst. It helps the hitter to have an organized perspective of how to control the starting line. It helps the hitter have an organized approach how to manage the finish line. Believe me, this may sound so basic, and it is, but all these points I'm telling you have a lot of details behind it. It's like a combination lock that has a lot of digits to it to open it up. But once you understand the combination, once you understand the recipe and the ingredients, it's easier to go back. It is a great feeling to go to home plate and be organized in your mind. It's too often that coaches and parents and players think that the problem is with their mechanics and technique. Meanwhile, it really begins inside their minds. And looking at the hitter's face while they're batting, you can see a lot of times the hitters are just displaced. They're unorganized. They look like deer in headlights. It looks like the hitter's brain is standing still for a split second. Look, I really recommend you start to begin valuing the eyes as much as I have. Begin to learn the timing techniques, the vision mechanics that you need to learn to hit better. I deal with this quite often. A player will come see me, they have 20/20 vision, they have 20/10 vision, and they still can't hit. I say this all the time. Our players' clocks are ticking. We want to help our players to be as good as they can be while they're still young. It is time to make the investment and help fix your hitter's timing. Again, it will be worth the investment. I'm Dave Kirilloff, languageofhitting.com. May the Lord bless you.